MMA Now, powered by Film On TV Networks.
I'm David Kano with Film on TV's MMA Now, and we're here on location in Inglewood, California for UFC 199, where Rockhold defends his middleweight title for the first time against Michael Bisping, and the trilogy, Dominick Cruz against Uriah Faber. Right now we're at Miss B's restaurant, which is literally right across the street from the forum. How good is that?
Hey, you can't ask for much more than that. Soul food. I'm from Louisiana. It's within walking distance. It's awesome.
So let's get right into it. Rockhold versus Michael Bisping. Yesterday, Rockhold said that he has a torn MCL. That's kind of weird for a fighter to say that he has an injury 2 days before the fight. Does that affect Michael Bisping's psyche at all?
You know, I think he might have been playing a little bit of mind games with him. His brother, Luke's brother, Matt, we talked to him earlier. He said that he knew about it happened early in training camp, maybe a couple of months ago. We saw him training a little bit with a knee brace on, and that and then training recently without one. So, if he could have been baiting him into maybe coming at him a little harder, a little sooner than he would normally, and so we'll see how that plays out.
Michael Bisping says it's his destiny to win. That's what he was here for. We had him on MMA Now TV, and that was his dream to not just get the title shot, but to win the title. And now he finally has that opportunity. He is the underdog, definitely 100% in this fight, even with the injury. In my mind, I don't see how Michael Bisping beats Rockhold, even with a torn MCL. I'm taking Rockhold to finish Michael Bisping.
Yeah, I don't see any way around that either. Going back to his brother, he picked him knockout in the first round. I don't see him knocking him out just because he really ate that flying knee from Anderson Silva really well. And so I don't see him knocking him out, but I do see him stopping him in probably the first or second round.
Our chief content producer, Ray Roman, actually is going with the upset, Michael Bisping. So we'll see if the count can get it done tomorrow night. Also, Dominick Cruz versus Uriah Faber. It's a trilogy. These guys do not like each other at all. It's a battle sort of between NorCal and SoCal.
Yeah.
Northern California, Uriah Faber. Southern California is where Dominick Cruz now makes his home at Alliance MMA. Will this be the final chapter of Cruz and Faber?
I think it probably will be. Faber has the ability to make this an ugly fight, to kind of stick to Cruz a little more than other fighters have been able to, but I still see Cruz being able to pull it out in the end.
Cruz, it's going to be a tough matchup. I actually thought he lost against TJ Dillashaw. It doesn't matter now. All that is out the door. It's a rematch. I think Cruz is going to win a 5-round decision. It's going to be a close fight, but I think you have to beat the champ to beat the champ. And in this case, I think Faber will lose a decision.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you.
Max Holloway and Ricardo Lamas get it on in the featherweight division. It's interesting because two of the fighters' last losses on this card have come to the notorious Conor McGregor.
Right.
Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier. Max Holloway coming out of Hawaii. He's on a great win streak. That was, like I said, the last loss was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
He's right there in that featherweight talk of Jose Aldo, Frankie Edgar, and there's Max Holloway right there knocking on the door.
Yeah.
He's fighting Ricardo Lamas, coming off a win over Diego Sanchez. How do you see this fight playing out? I
just see it being a scrappy fight all the way around, and I tend to think that Holloway's gonna pull it out in the end. Although they're both pretty exciting fighters, so it could be a stoppage by one of them also. I don't know. I guess it's a coin flip for me.
Yeah, Lamas was on a win streak. He had his shot a few years back. He actually was one. If he would have beat Chad Mendes, he would have got the shot against Aldo. Right. He didn't get it done. I think Holloway's going to be too much. I think this is over in the second round. Also, we have MMA legend Hendo Henderson against Hector Lombard. There's that whole beef that we've covered between Lombard and Henderson, although they've been pretty cordial and very respectful towards each other. But can you imagine Dan Henderson is turning 46 years old in August?
I'm turning 41 years old in August. I had a chiropractic visit today. So, no, I can't imagine what that guy's doing still in the ring, But, hey, out of all the fighters we saw at weigh-ins today, he was probably the one that got the biggest round of applause from everybody coming out. If not,
maybe Faber or Cruz.
They had good ones as well. But Hendo, always a fan favorite. This is going to be a great fight. I don't think I can pick it. I just think it's going to be a coin flip and just one that's great to watch, even though they both really need a win. Henderson, because he's on the cusp of should I retire, should I not? I think if a really good showing in a fight against Lombard is going to maybe get one more fight or two out of him. And then on the other hand, Lombard's coming off a couple of losses. He really needs a win too. So it's going to be an exciting fight.
So if you had to choose one tomorrow night, who would that be?
Man, I'm gonna have to go with. I want to see Hendo win, but if I have to pick one, I'm gonna say Lombard.
Lombard. So you're going with Lombard with a win. I think Henderson hasn't been on the cusp of retirement. I thought he should have retired years ago. He's still winning fights. Yeah. He fought a very tough Tim Bosch, coming off a knockout loss to Vitor Belfort, but he's still going at it. Yep. And Henderson, where is it? It's a tough call. You have the judoka in Lombard who has heavy hands, but then again you have Henderson, the wrestler, the All-American that can take him down. The Olympic as well. They both have Olympic caliber in their respective fields. I'm going to take Hendo to grind it out and pull it out some way, somehow. I'm not sure if it goes to the decision, but I see Mr. 46-year-old to pull it out.
And I see that as being, if one thing is swaying the balance toward Lombard, I think it's his age. I think at some point it's got to catch up to him, and this is probably the fight to do it.
Rounding out the main card, we have Dustin Poirier against Bobby Green. And before we talk about it, the card is, again, I've said this before, I hate using the word stacked, but I was going through on the undercard from Kevin Casey, Muchachos, from Jessica Penne, Andrade, you got Brian Ortega, Clay Guida. But all around, this is like a circuit training because the card's good all around. So this is rounding out the main card, Dustin Poirier against Bobby Green. And these guys had some – I love the trash talk between them.
I see this potentially being a fight of the night. Out of all the weigh-ins today, they were one of the only few that didn't shake hands and were talking a little bit of smack to each other. So you like to see that. So it's going to be an exciting fight.
And you have Dustin Poirier, whose last loss was to – the Notorious. Right. And you have Bobby Green, who's coming off a decision loss to Edson Barboza. But he's been right there in the top 10, just kind of floating around. He hasn't fought since 2014. Yeah. Will there be ring rust? Poirier is feeling good at 155.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Poirier winning this fight in a decision.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. That's a big question mark as far as how long it's been since Green's been in the octagon. I think that if he does well, this really propels him up into the rankings further. But I tend to agree with you. I think Poirier is going to pull out the win.
Well, guess what? All these question marks, they will be answered tomorrow night at UFC 199 at the Western Forum. It used to be the Great Western Forum. It is the Forum, literally right across the street. You can see it right there. UFC 199. Luke Rockhold versus Michael Bisping, and we have Dominick Cruz versus Uriah Faber. For Brian Shepard, I'm David Kano, and we'll see you again tomorrow night.
Can we eat now?
Yes.
All right.